I had one of those nights again. I left the window open and the cold air crept up on me while I slept. For hours I could feel it pulling me into a half sleep, and for hours I could feel myself struggling with the cold until I woke up. I don't know if I can say that I hate what's going on. It's been happening enough to where I've accepted it. I mean, I'd rather not have it, and I figure that if I can acknowledge it, I might be able to find ways to fix my issue. The house feels so still now. It's been a couple months since it began. I'm off the job for now. They no longer trust me. I don't think I can find any line of work like that anymore. I spend the days now picking out prospective jobs like berries. The resolve I feel towards the good ones fades when I pick up the phone. Now I give my hands to the house that I live in, and the hollow prayers I make to my parole officer whenever he takes me to Sunday Mass. He presses it on me a lot, but I know he only wants the best for me. And I go. In exchange for a trip outside, he receives the satisfaction that he's doing good for someone. Recently though, prayer, or what I think is prayer, has become something like coffee to me. When I wake up, before I go to sleep, sometimes outside, sometimes when I watch TV, I find myself resorting to prayer. But I don't pray to God, rather, I try to bring myself back to life before. I think back to when my family was here, or to the hikes I used to go on, or the reputation I used to hold. My colleagues still live that old life, unscathed by the scandal.
I put my trust in them, and they put theirs in me. I've held my end, but they couldn't their own, and how could I blame them? The authorities were already knee-deep in our schemes, and they had already caught me on their own accord, so what would be the point in ratting my guys out?
But did I do right? What we were doing was clearly unjust. The firm's savings were running out because of us. Many of the guys I worked with are still in the company's leadership. If I were an uninvolved employee, would I want them to be up there still? I guess I've endangered them. I should have ratted my guys out when the investigation was still ongoing.
But how could I do that to them, though? They have families just like everyone else. I know mine still suffers because of what I've done. So what, our company can't pay for another printer or the wages go down by 1%. I'd just be creating more unnecessary harm.
But don't forget that my colleagues didn't get caught. Don't forget that they're still executive members of the firm. Now that the dust has settled, my not ratting them out has probably given them the personal permission to continue doing as they did before.
But how could I betray them like that? I've known them for so long. We all worked on this thing together. I know for sure that if someone else were ratted out, they wouldn't go and turn on me.
But how do you know that that would have happened? How do you know that one of our guys wouldn't have ratted me or anyone else out had they been in my position? You think you know the alternative, but the thing is you can't be complacent with what you believe ought to happen.
Perhaps I value them too highly. Perhaps it is wrong to put them before what was right. I try to weigh the implications of what could have been against each other as if either were equally righteous. Quite frankly, my heart lies in my own stubbornness to rat them out, but my own reason keeps me from settling with that belief completely, because I know that the law set in place to vilify what we did exists to ensure what societally we consider righteous. At times, I wish I could reject the law and unearth some kind of unjust prejudice from it. No more can I act against it besides what I've already done. But I know I can't compare myself to the famous lawbreakers that I learned about back in university. Nelson Mandela, Thoreau, Dr. King, and so on. My own greed got me into this mess, and my own specific obligations to my friends have isolated me with the consequences. None of what I've done can be changed, but perhaps my solution has been found. Perhaps if I can embrace this nagging feeling, I might find some peace, though I know it will never be absolute. Ultimately, though, I know that these conflicting values are only speculation, and I know that it would be foolish to blindly be enamored by one and discredit the other. All that is left is application, and all that is left are its results.